Hello and welcome. Maya Angelou said that words mean more than what's set down on the paper, and it takes the human voice to infuse them with deeper meaning. So that means your presentation, your deck, your report the words are important. The words convey information. But what the words don't do, and your voice does, is convey to your audience how they need to feel about what they're listening to. It conveys to them what they might need to do after they have felt the feelings that you incite in them. Because the truth is, our voices carry the power to enthuse, to excite, to inspire, to educate, to support, to empathize, to encourage, and to coach. But they only have that if we allow our voices to do that. Our voices carry incredible power. But there's some things that we do to stop that power being available, to stop that power, to stem it from really infusing our voices. So over the next 3 episodes, we are going to be talking about the power of your voice and how you can let that out and it really impact on how you are perceived as an incredible expert and for your potential to be really visible to the organization or business you work in. So I hope you enjoy. Let's kick off with a conversation around to speak or not to speak. There are many folks that I work with that will say to me, well, it's not that I don't know what to say, it's that I don't know when to say it. So there's a roundtable discussion going on, a topic will come up and I think I can add to that, or I've got an idea, or I disagree with what's being said. And then they'll spend some time kind of perfecting what it is that they want to say. And one of two things will happen. The conversation moves on. So that topic has finished and something else is now being discussed. Or somebody else in the room will have said more or less what my client might have been thinking. Now, the reason this happens is because we are overthinking, we're procrastinating. And we're procrastinating because we tend to think that we are not enough. So is this going to sound smart enough? Is this going to sound intelligent? Is this correct? Might I have some of this wrong? Am I going to look like an idiot if I say this? What will they think of me? So in the process of trying to create the perfect sentence, if you like, or the perfect articulation of your idea, we've also, at the same time, got all this noise, this mental chatter going on. And it means we are not present to the conversation. So we won't notice when our cue to speak might come up, when there's a pause, or when the conversation is about to be moved on or is moving on naturally because of the way the conversation has been shaped. So we don't notice those things. And then we kind of come out of our internal dialogue and our internal creation of our idea and suddenly realize, oh, I've missed my spot. I can't speak up now. I mean, I would disagree with that. I think there's always an ability to bring the conversation back round as long as it's not two subjects on. But we can always say our point a little bit later, but it can feel like we've missed out. And the reason that we procrastinate is because we just don't feel like we're enough. And that impacts on our ability to speak up because you spend too much time trying to perfect our idea or too much time trying to perfect who we are in the eyes of everybody else in the room. And it just means we miss that moment, we miss that opportunity. And for some people, if this is going on before speaking, it's a time sink. So you spend a huge amount of time preparing, you might get some sleepless nights. So the willingness to speak up and not speak up becomes a real issue. And we disempower our ability to speak up. We disempower our voices through these thought processes of, I'm not enough, I'm not smart enough, these guys are so much smarter than me, or these women have been doing this so much longer, I'm inexperienced. And the impact is it really, really disempowers our voice. We pull back. We deny ourselves the ability to speak up. We maybe even think, well, when I've been doing this job a bit longer, then I'll do so and so. Or when I've got X qualification, then I'll do Y. And so we find all these rational reasons why we don't empower our voices. But the real impact, the sort of final impact of all of this, is that it really impacts on our perceived competence. So unless we embrace the power of our voice, we don't say what we know, we don't share what we know, we don't speak up as often as perhaps we could do or should do, and we don't share our ideas in full. And it means that the group, and that might be the team or it might be higher ups, never really see our full potential. And so what they have is this idea of our perceived competence, which is lower than what is actually true. We're often much better at our jobs than the power of our voice allows us to show. So if we want to really embrace the power of our voice, really show what we can do, then we have to start to change how we think about ourselves. And one of the really important things that you can hold on to is that nobody's perfect. Nobody knows everything. Nobody speaks incredibly fluently. I'm sure I've said and multiple times during this video, but it doesn't make me less of an expert about what I know. Perfection is a fallacy. It's not real. None of us can be completely fluent, completely perfect in the way that we speak the entire time, unless we're a very high level politician who has been trained to the nth degree and has auto cues everywhere and somebody to write brilliant speeches for us. Then that's different. But even then, it won't be perfect. So if we can embrace the idea that every speaker is imperfect, but the good speakers are the ones who've just had more practice. They've just done it more often. They've put themselves out there. They've taken those risks. They've got it wrong. They've said the wrong words. They've presented ideas that don't quite fit or don't quite work, along with multiple times where they articulated beautifully what they thought, where their ideas have been the catalyst for an incredible solution, where they have done really well and persuaded a group of people to do something they didn't want to do initially. So great speakers, really powerful speakers who really embrace the power of their voice are people who've just done it more often. They've got it wrong and they've got it right. So when we can move from I need to be perfect to I can be imperfect and still powerful, then we're in a really incredible space to show how competent, how much potential we genuinely have. But it all comes down to what you're thinking about yourself. I hope you found this useful. In our next video on the power of voice, we're going to be talking about the difference between an empowered voice and a disempowered voice. And we're going to talk about the idea of an empowered and disempowered body and what that might mean for your audience. So I hope you found this useful. Do watch the next one. And if you are finding our content really helpful, subscribe. We put out content twice a week. It is always absolutely jam-packed full of really helpful hints and tips. Take care, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.